Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted. You've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head. I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruise. Like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless. I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings.
Honestly, my voice is going in relation to the music.
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue.
Wow, y'all can barely hear me.
Like when I'm with you
That is crazy. Let me bring that up. Okay. We'll see how that rolls. I might have to reset a bunch of this shit.
Dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get.
Yeah, I might have to reset a bunch of this. Okay. We'll see how that rolls. I might have to reset a bunch of this shit. Hmm.
Dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get.
Yeah, I might have to reset a bunch of this. Wow, I don't know why my voice is so low. That is freaking crazy. Maybe I gotta come up here? But I shouldn't have to. I mean, it shouldn't be that low. Wow, I don't know why my voice is so low. That is freaking crazy. shouldn't have to. I mean, it shouldn't be that low. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, it shouldn't be that low. Not with what I'm hearing on my end. Like, y'all should be getting plenty of mic. There's nothing that's going on over here that should be restricting. Shouldn't be that low. Not with what I'm hearing on my end. Like, the audio that much. Getting plenty of mic. I don't understand it. Maybe it's because I'm trying to push too much through the same.
I wish when I first saw you, I knew this. When I'm with you, I feel so useless. I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded.
Kind of
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt.
Actually,
Never really know just what you want. With you, I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm.
I don't know.
Play with me like cats and a string.
But maybe it's
You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking
That changed a lot, actually. I think that's what it was. I think it's because it was back up to the. Okay, so let's bring this down. Past all the mics. Okay.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares. See me right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you, I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't.
Yo, DJ, what's going on? Welcome back.
Never really know just what you want. With you, I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm.
I'm trying to figure out
Cats and a string.
why I sound so damn muffled on the stream. Let me unhide everything. Oh, I know what I need to do. Let me try this. Advanced audio. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, y'all should be seeing the headset, not the mic. Okay, so I need to bring this up. Unhide everything. Okay, how's that? Oh, now everything shouldn't be so muffled. Let me try this.
I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing. Sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions. I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you, I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you, I knew this. When I'm with you, I feel so useless. I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Wasn't me, is it silhouettes of you are like a taunt. I'm the one who's always never really know just what you want. Even though I offer all with you, I don't ever feel calm. I wish you loved me like I love you. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. When I'm alone with you, one day with me like cats and a string. I wish I wasn't struck. You don't understand the pain it brings. I wish when I first saw you, don't ever wanna give it away. You don't ever wanna set me free. My heart
But I'm also trying to keep y'all from hearing echoes and shit. Let me close that. And I just have to bring that down. And then I can mute this one. Or is it this one? Let's see. Okay, so that's this one right here. Okay, so I can bring that down. And actually I'll bring all of those down. That's the only one. You don't need to hear that. Y'all just need to hear this one. Okay. And I can mute the headset. So monitor only for that. Mic monitor off. And music monitor off. Wait a minute, no, I need to monitor and output the music. Every time I've tried this, it's been some fuckery. That's wild. Okay. Those two are mics. That's not. Okay, so there's the music on my end. Okay, and that's why it sounds a lot. All right, cool. So, yeah, sorry about all of that. It's just trying to get everything straight. Let me come down on my vocals a little bit, because that just sounds loud as hell. It's good now. Yeah. I don't know. It's like when I try to push everything through to where y'all can hear everything that's coming out on the, like the way I want y'all to hear it, I guess. But I don't know. I guess certain things don't require additional processing, so it kind of screws it up. I don't know. I'm no audio engineer. I'm just trying to figure this shit out. But Now that we got that straightened out, and actually I can turn my mic monitoring off because I don't need to hear my fucking self-talk. You see we got all the dailies left to do minus the multiverse invasion. So yeah, I did get a bunch of requests for GBR earlier. I will be taking y'all up on that, so feel free to shoot them. But before we do any of that, we gotta go on and get to the 40K essence pool. So let's go ahead and do our pickups and check-ins and such. So how y'all been? How y'all been? Yeah, you know, it was some shit going on today because I just jumped right the fuck into the stream like a motherfucker. Like, what the hell he got going on today? What is it? Dispatch? Where's dispatch? Oh my God. Yeah, let's turn that shit the fuck down. Sorry about that. Actually, you know what? We do need to run a GBR first. So feel free to shoot them invites. And the reason why is because, okay, Black Dragon X. Yeah, the reason why is simply because I'm trying to use up my boost points. All right. So I can go and open a rift and get some more essence. I'm gonna do the essence run thing because we're just under, if you, I'll go to my inventory right quick so you can see, but we're just under 30,000 essence. By the time I do my refund and everything, that should cover the other 10,000 or so essence. So at least I'm hoping. If we're a little off, well, it's close enough. If 38 is close enough to 40. So that is the plan. Hopefully we get there with a little bit of luck. If we get a bunch of 3 stars, we're in the door. So let's get, we really don't got nobody to invite right now. So we'll just go ahead and jump right in. And I guess the way I'm gonna have to keep track, because it's a little weird. Normally I got the YouTube live control panel going in OBS and it's whited out. So I don't know, maybe I can show y'all what's going on my desktop, but I don't want to show y'all the wrong shit. So let me see. We'll get back to this in a second. But I would probably have to come with a whole new thing to show you the desktop. And I gotta make sure I'm showing you guys the right monitor. Is it window capture, device capture, display capture? That's what it is. Let's see. Turn it off right quick. Oh, I have to select capture group. Okay, so this is what's going on my left side monitor. And normally this area right here, oh shit, I gotta resize it. Okay, so normally this area right here is filled with information, but white screen and shit going on. So yeah, just a little behind the scenes action. It's really fucking weird. Shit doesn't normally happen. Typically. So yeah, really fucking weird shit. So I gotta work around the information that's in there. Really is just you know, who's in the room, that sort of shit, right? Active comments, all that sort of shit. I mean, I don't need it, but it can be useful if I'm not necessarily looking. At least the left side where the comments is actually working. But then I also have a spare comment box that I snatched from YouTube itself. So the way I usually have it set up is the one from OBS is running in one monitor, and then on the other monitor I'll kind of shrink what you guys are seeing and let you just see that display, and then next to it I'll have the other chat going as well. So the idea being, no matter which way I'm looking, if somebody says something, I'll be in a position to kind of see it, because I'm not always necessarily looking at the monitor, especially gaming from the phone, that sort of shit. So damn. You say you're gonna rely on the immortality. I feel you, brother, and I appreciate the carry. Now give me 1 second because I forgot to do something on my phone. There we go. All right, now we can actually check the inventory, make sure, yeah. Got a bunch of shit we gotta get rid of. Poison resist. I can't do nothing with that. Couple of 6 stars out of it. No cards, that's what I skipped. Convert all 6-star cards. We got 4 of them. Gives us about 100 slots. What do we like on swords? Okay, we're empty. We actually did come through and we revamped our swords. As you can see, we're 4 5 stars and 2 4-star now. So working on getting that purple and that or the psionic and the strength up to 5 stars. Then I feel like we'll be in a pretty solid spot on our swords. We're still going to be trying to min-max everything to 6, of course, but yeah, we don't want to do that just yet. Let's go ahead and open this rift. Actually, we need to combine. Okay, so we're up to 20 now. It's actually pretty dope. Be able to open another mythic rift soon, but for now, we're going to settle for the normal. Just do that. Go ahead and run these joints and see if we can get some more essence, baby. The bad thing about the backup plan, watching it from YouTube, is you'll have to refresh in order to see things like views, live viewers, comments left, that sort of thing. It also shows you your likes on the YouTube studio side, but it's not necessarily alive and up to date and auto refreshing sort of situation. So it's kind of the drawback there. But what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think of the seasonal so far? Do you think we're gonna get Electra Tier 4? I've been seeing a bunch of stuff about that data mine, but not a bunch of. I've been hearing some talk about it. Not a bunch of stuff, but you know. I mean, my thing is, why not, right? Because we'll be looking back on this and going, well, why didn't they Tier 4 this character when they had the chance, sort of situation? It looks like it is kind of a rush to Tier 5, so they're trying to Tier 4 as many characters as possible. You know, all Tier 4s, yeah, they're not necessarily good, but you know, the difference between a good Tier 4 and a bad Tier 4 is a uniform change. So you're like, that's the way I kind of look at it. Characters are like one uniform away from being good, right? Now, they screw up a lot more uniforms than they actually get right. Daredevil is a prime example of that. Hulkbuster is another good example of that. But then you also got to think they're trying to relegate some of these characters to strictly support. Now, could they have given Hulkbuster penetration? Yeah, definitely. There's absolutely no reason for him not to have it. Could they have made Daredevil actually good for PvP? Absolutely. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. Now, they may be waiting for to bring the Defenders back as like a viable team in PvP. So it could be that sort of similar situation. But I don't think they'll be strong enough to rival a Symbiote's team in timeline. With Null and Surfer and Agent Venom, they wouldn't even be that strong, let alone, having to contend with the likes of a Wolverine or a Sentry or a Jean Grey or Adam Warlock or any, can they really dethrone these characters that are either meta or close to the top of the meta? And then, of course, Sentry has an update that's coming around the corner. So, even if they wound up being good, will they remain that way for very long? I would like to see a lot of more variety in PvP, but they got to balance that game mode out. And just to be clear, the last time the Defenders were actually good, there was some good balance there in PvP for a while. You had Sentry was really good, but a properly built Defenders team could dethrone that and deal with the likes of the Wolverines and any other characters that were, rocking out at the time, the Jean Greys of the world and the like. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with Null. It'll also be interesting to see if Gore gets a rework anytime soon and makes a return to the meta, because that could really shake up PvP. But I would like to see it balanced in such a way where we could get a lot more variety. They need to go back to that system of characters having a couple of hard counters that aren't necessarily that character. And then people can play matchups. But as long as this system of a handful of meta types are sort of around, that doesn't really leave rise for any other variety, any other teams, any other formula to win. So hopefully the Defenders getting an update is a good sign, because I remember those days where you had, the Defenders as a team, as a unit. You could also throw Shang-Chi in there. Even though he didn't have the Defenders tag, I think, at the time, he was still really, really good and had that really unique tier 3 skill. Along with a powerful third skill counter that was really good. One of the few times they actually got that whole counter, because I think his counter also had reflect on it, so it also made him really unique in that regard. Honestly, I think that's kind of where they got the idea of putting reflect on Emma's artifact. Because when that reflect and the counter kick in simultaneously, it's an automatic one shot. It's gonna pull you out of your frame. You can't hide from anything. Not your damage being reflected back at you, or the counter that's hitting you. They need to get back to some more of those more interesting game mode mechanics. When the defenders were meta, the Eternals were also meta. Seeing Luke go head to head for like half a minute. I mean, like, people complain about that stuff. Well, the game is just. But at the same time, it's also like, I figured out ways around that shit. There are counters to getting locked up like that. You just have to situate your team right when you send them in there. And like I said, variety is the spice of life. So when those situations do sort of arise, like I said, people complained about it a lot. But at the same time, look at what we have now. And people are still complaining. And they would be the ones to tell you that, yeah, PvP was a lot better back then. Shit kind of went off the rails at the advent of Tier 4, to be honest with you. Because we got Tier 4 Hulk, we got Tier 4 Spidey. And while that did bring these characters back to the forefront, it also started to create a divide between free-to-plays and non-free-to-plays, spenders and non-spenders. Really old accounts and really new accounts. Like that gap got huge, bro. I mean, you still had cats dealing with their cards weren't right, didn't have mighty CTPs to be able to combat. The old gear system that didn't have things like the baby rage proc, which is not very useful in PvP, but they changed the heal also. And made it a little bit better. They added barrier. And I think you can put those together on an obelisk now. So you can have a guard break immunity, barrier, and a heal. That's not bad, bro. If you can't get a hold of a CTP. For a particular PvP character, that's not a bad thing to roll. And I ought to do a video on that shit, but I think you can roll those. They're not easy to roll. I mean, so even if you had the Immortal Hulk uniform, which also scaled off HP and was good in PvP for its day, you know, because you think if he had that, I think he has guard break immunity built into his kit or super armor or some shit like that. So double max HP with a added heal, or guard break immunity with double max HP. Like, yeah, when people used Iron Man in timeline, yeah, people used to use Iron Man, Blue Marvel when he first hit. And I know because I used to get a lot of wins with my Blue Marvel, who was stuck at tier 2, or no, stuck at tier 1, I'm sorry, for the longest time. Because I got him at 6 stars, but I couldn't get any more bios for him. And I wasn't about to go, like, this when I was brand new to the game. Because I started around that whole boycott shit when the Ultimates came out. That's when I started this. I was playing Marvel Heroes Omega before that, and that game shut down because of management negligence, let's say. It was a big ass fucking scandal, bro. They got their licensing pulled. But yeah, I came over from that game. My homeboy found this. He was like, bro, you seen this? Because we didn't fuck with mobile games. We were more console gamers, and we didn't fuck around with Marvel Heroes Omega until it came to console. It was originally a PC game, and actually really, really fucking good, and had a lot of characters on it. And Nightcrawler was actually a beast in that game. He was a single target damage type, but his single target damage, like, damn near one-shot everybody if you built him right. And a lot of people slept on him, and he could attack from, like, great distance with teleports and shit like that. Hit you, one-shot you, dip off, do a little bit, dip off again, teleport, hit you with the one-shot. Now, he did have some AoE type stuff where he would teleport around and hit everybody real fast, but yeah, he had a couple of real good moves that were like killer, and one in particular that was like a damn near automatic, like every time I'm gonna kill you, you're gonna be close. Debuff lead wiped him out. Yeah, I mean, like when they bring new stuff, if it's limited, it becomes niche, and so it makes that character really good. But when they start spreading that shit out to everybody, like fucking, like you get a, and you get a, and you get a, whatever the fuck the shit is. And you get a shit, and you get a shit, and you get a shit. Whenever they start doing that, it becomes so much less niche, right? And there's certain things I don't so much mind, like iframe ignore. But then other things they really shouldn't do, and they don't, like Spider-Man's webbing that ignores iframe, right? or ignores debuff, right? Ignores our frame. His webbing that ignores debuff, right? That ignores debuff removal. That shit is powerful. But should they give that shit to every spider type character in the game? No. It would be broken. But they should make Spidey really, really, really fucking effective with it. If that's gonna be Pete's calling card, his timeline, make him really good in there. My bad, Bubba. I didn't see you there. Welcome to the channel, bro. But yeah, that's how you do it. If you do it like that, then everything will be copacetic. There we go. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, debuff removal was in the game already with a lot of characters having it on active skills as well. Like Spidey, I think, had it on a passive or on an active, and he's like been meta going back to Hobo Spidey, right? He's always, or just about always, had some sort of meta PvP uniform. Even when they came out with the 2 uniforms, the one that sucked was always the one for PvE. The one for PvP was always pretty decent. So, I think Hulk had debuff removal on his 3rd skill. Thanos has always had some sort of debuff removal, along with Jean. But I get what you're saying, like the debuff removal leaderships, like Dr. Doom and Sentry and all of these sorts. When before it was like, man, you had to get that shit off a Wasp as a passive. Like, what are you talking about? Debuff removal. Man, that shit ain't gonna fly. Now everybody got that shit. Now they have found creative ways around it. I think that they try to implement, but maybe not so well. Like there are certain other Battlefield buffs that you can buy in Otherworld that remove a character's debuff removal type shit or ignores it or whatever. I think that's creative. They need to find more creative solutions to that and other things in timeline battle to let these characters be able to shine just a little bit more. But that will require them to actually like think. You know what I mean? Like as short as Thanos' cooldowns are, he should be wrecking everything in timeline battle. Square business. But he simply can't do it. One, because he doesn't have a second life or that other shit. The immortality passive. Which is actually kind of wild. I figured they would have given him that. If he had one of those two, and preferably the immortality, but then what did we say before? Isn't that the same situation of giving everybody everything? So I guess the question becomes, how do you balance it, right? How do you give certain characters certain shit and other characters different shit? You know what I mean? I'm finna go refresh my coffee, but I'm wireless so we can keep talking about it. Yeah. Gotta refresh my coffee, baby. But that's the thing. It's like, how do you balance that shit? You know? I mean, they try to do things that make sense, like giving Spidey a shitload of fucking dodge, giving him invisibility, giving him a shitload of iframes, giving him weapon that ignores immunity, him ignore, giving him a little bit of damage reduction, but then even he doesn't have that second life shit, giving him Giga dodge on his artifact, like. So they try to do things that for the characters in some degree, but then on other levels, you can tell it's just like, oh, copy paste. Okay, we'll give them a little bit of 5% here of bump. 10% there with the same exact shit. Now I will say this, depending on the skill animation, it could make sense to do things like move certain effects from one skill to the other, right? Which they've done before, and it made a lot of sense, and it made the characters better and play smoother and all of that bullshit, right? But then other characters, man, they're just doing this shit to sell a fucking uniform, bro. And if you got this one, why, get the next one? Loki is a prime example of that. Loki is a prime example of that, bro. I mean, I would love to see like a Marvel Future fight through the ages. I don't have the footage from back then, but I would love to see that shit. Marvel Future fight timeline through the ages. Every game mode really, but specifically for me, I would love to see that shit. Just so we can see how many characters were actually meta. Believe it or not, there was a time when Rogue was sort of meta-ish in timeline. A lot of people really didn't use her, I don't think, but she did a lot of countering, specifically Jean Grey. I think it was after Jean got her first uniform where she was wrecking, and you couldn't use Angel to really counter her anymore. It was either that or that Marvel Girl uniform. It was the uniform where Rogue had the hood up. I know a lot of people used her in things like PvE content, but not your boy. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Yeah, so the next one I open can be Mythic. Select it. And, where are you? Oh, you know what? Let's do another GBR so we can use up them boost points first, and then we'll go do the other joint. They could give certain skills to some characters, like some reflect and will be countered by iframe and so on. Yeah, I mean, they really have to think. Like, it used to be, before everybody had iframe ignore, certain iframes took priority, and it's still like that. Certain iframes take priority over other iframes, right? So you heard the term high priority iframe a lot. That was what Angel was winning on, because I think it was like his fifth skill or fourth skill had a really high priority iframe on it, and then his third skill gave him a heal and some other shit, and you could really win on that, especially against Jeans. There was a point when Apocalypse got that Messiah Complex uniform, and a lot of people were using him in ABX because he was meta there for so long. I was using him in PvP, and he was wrecking there. Hell, he was wrecking their way back in the gap before he even got a uniform, because I used to catch hell from Apocalypse all the time before I unlocked him. And that was after, you know, I started, well, I understand this about the game and all of this sort of shit. Now, I was still really, really learning a lot. So, there was that. So I think a lot of those losses were on cards, CTPs, that sort of shit. Because I didn't even know what a damn Celestial Tech Pack was. Let's pop off. Go ahead and take him down past that joint. You might want to switch your Ghost Rider, bro, because you popped your artifact already. So you're going to definitely have to get your switch on. Okay. Let's pop off. Well, am I gonna have time for one more rotation? Well, I sure am. Nice. I see no reason to sacrifice my artifact for the sake of time. So we'll just jump inside the joint. Who knows, you could wind up getting a bad draw, getting caught out of position or whatever during the fight. So I know a lot of people use that as a strategy, but for me, I mean, I've seen so much bullshit in this fight. It's like, bro, like right there, I could have got clipped by the flame and hit by the deal. There goes the artifact right there. If I'd already used it, I'm dead. Now we 3 bars, 4 bars for whatever it is. Trying to figure out how to kill this dude with no other DPS. No. No thank you. Oh shit, I gotta run it again. Fuck. No. No thank you. I don't need that headache. Know what I mean? All because you were impatient. Okay, so let's pick up this. And pick up shock and awe. Those are my artifacts, so another 250 in the mix. Let's get to pulling. Got just under 30,000. So with the returns, that should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 40. Let's get started. Okay. 5-star mode out. You're wondering which ones I'm wanting. Rogue's artifact would be nice. Sentry's artifact would be hella fucking nice. Null, of course, I don't have his yet. And they haven't added it to World Boss, I don't think. So that kind of sucks. We are getting a bunch of 3-stars, so that's actually not bad, but only the 5-star Modoc so far. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's dismantle all of this. See what the return is. So that's 24.75. Need something to write with. Give me 1 second. Okay. Grab a pen and a pad right quick. Okay. Pulling from 835. Hopefully we get some love here. Don't see none so far. Bunch of 3-stars and 2-stars. That really wasn't that good of a pull. That one was a little better. That one was trash. Okay, that's okay, but where are the artifacts? Where are the artifacts, bro? Broski. Broski, 835 is not what it is right now. Okay, Kamiho stance. Got me a 5-star White Fox. I'll definitely take that. Hey, 2 5-stars, not bad. So 2 5-stars. Yeah, 2 5-stars. What am I doing? Yeah. So we'll do our first 10,000 or so. was absolute trash. Man, what the hell is going on?
And he did turkey burgers. This Thanksgiving?
Let me switch the music. How about that? There we go. Okay. Quantum protector. So 4-star Wendell Vaughn. I actually like that skip scene button. That was trash. A little bit better. So our first 20,000 or so, just about. So that was what, 1 4-star and 2 5-stars. Ooh, that's a good return. That's also not bad. Trash. Whoa. Slow down there, brother. Brother, hit the brakes. Whoa. Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. Hey. Okay, we'll get to the 10,000. And then we'll go hit the return. That last one was a good return. So let's see what we got. Yep, 2 5-stars and 1 4-star for 40,000 essence. 38 3-stars. Wow. 164 2-stars. 164 2-stars isn't really that terrible. Okay, that's a 7,000 return on 1.9. Yeah, so that's definitely 10,000. So we'll definitely hit the 40,000 mark. Maybe a little more than. You know, I'm just interested to know if I have her. I think I have White Fox Artifact, but I'm not sure at what star level. 3-star, so this is definitely an upgrade. Hell yeah. Let's go ahead and slap that on her right now. Can't do no wrong with that. It's not the right instinct, but I ain't tripping. Okay, so it gives her a heal. So, still, if she ever becomes Metafy outside of just a leadership, she'll have a decent additional heal to anything else they may give her, unless they decide to change the artifact. So, I'll rock with it. I know a lot of people use their artifacts for rerolls. I'm definitely going to use the Modoc one, possibly, but I don't think I need to re-roll anything. So I don't know. If I don't, then I'll just slap it on them. So we'll lock these two up for now. So we got another 17,000 to play with when we were down to 10. So by the time it's all said and done, we may be upwards of 50K. You know, a 6-star Ghost Rider would be nice. Okay. I don't think that one does me any good. I think I have a 6-star Crescent already. So we'll keep it pushing, but that's one 3-star named artifact. Which ultimately isn't gonna count because I'm probably gonna wind up just selling it for the essence. Because ultimately it does me no good to put it on another character outside of like ranking, and even then it's only a 3-star. And if it's a 4, 5, or a 6, you'd probably do better using it for a reroll or just slapping it on the character if they're a lower star level, or missing their artifact entirely. But you never know, it could be one of those artifacts that in the future wind up getting re-rolled. Why don't I use auto dismantle? And I just don't like to. I like to see how much essence I'm getting back so I can sort of track the amount a little bit better. And no luck here. No luck here, baby. Huh. Yeah, that one wasn't so bad. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Not so bad. Not so bad. Come on, give me some kind of love. Give me one more 4, 5, or 6-star. Garbage. Decent. Garbage, more decent-ish. I don't know. That one could have been better. That's hot garbage. Okay, so 3-star Black Widow. I'm not sure if I got her artifact or not. Okay. That's another 2 million gold. For another 6,840 essence. So right now we're at 45,000, 46,000 essence, maybe a little more. Yeah. let's go drop this. Other 7,000. Let's see what we get on the auto. Garbage. 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 Mohawk garbage. Mohawk garbage. No love at all. I be damn. What the hell? Okay, it's over. Goodness gracious. That was terrible. Nothing for 6,000 essence. That's another 28, 30. Might as well spend it. Yep. Nothing. Nada. Hot garbage. Yeah, it's just a gold sink at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna dismantle this and I'm gonna chill. Or should I spend it? It's just 1,200. Why not? We might get lucky. Spend it down to the bone gristle. What was that, 1,200 or so? I don't even remember what it was. I have to go back and look it up. So that's 810. And mind you, we're not getting any of the other ones that are chance up, right? That's the other thing. Okay, now chill. You know that's not gonna happen, right? Oh, 360. Okay. I am not keeping track of the gold at this point. I'm just keeping track of the essence because, like, I know it still adds up and it's cumulative and all of that jazz, but I have gotten lucky there before on the single pull, believe it or not. Straight trash the whole way. Straight up garbage the whole way. All all the way down the road. Was it enough for one last pull? Oh, two. Yep. Hmm, 10, that may be enough. Nope. Not enough for a single pull. Cool. So, definitely over 50,000 essence. For 5 artifacts. 2 5-star, 1 4-star, 2 3-star. I'm almost certain I have Crescent's 6-star artifact, so that's going to be just a sell for me. Yeah. Who else? Modoc. The thing is, I don't think there's a 5-star artifact that I have that needs re-rolling. Now, I could save it for a future. Yep, I already got a better Black Widow artifact. So both of those are trash. She's got justice. She's got justice. She's got destruction. So that needs to be re-rolled. I think Wolverine's artifact needs to be re-rolled. I'm much more interested in re-rolling his artifact. So that's what we'll use Wendell for. Cruelty. The drama continues. Order. Yeah, his is right. He's 4-star. Hers is wrong. His is right, but it's 4-star. Destruction. He needs cruelty. No. Yeah, change option. That's what we want to do. And he's still destruction. Who knows? I might trade him in and get lucky, baby. I'm only gambling because it's free. I mean, it costs gold, but you know. No luck at all. The absolute worst luck ever. What is this, one pool? One shy of one pool. So I'll be able to trade it for one more freaking pool. It's absolutely busted. This is why you don't do this shit. Yep. So we're down to 4 celestial essence. Literally. Or 9. Absolutely busted. Okay. Moving along. Since we're done with the artifacts and the essence and all of that jazz. World balls, clear 10 dimension missions. Wait just a damn minute. Oh, really? Go through and call the friends list again. Yep. Yep, we'll do it like that. So no luck there on the artifacts either. Looking like, boy, if you go and spend that celestial essence, you get 2 artifacts in your hand and you're back at the table. I gotta do it now because I didn't talk shit about it. There we go. And let's get the free joint. You said you was done with the essence. I am now. Shit. Okay. Participate in alliance battle. Let's get that out of the way. Actually, do I have his artifact? I do have it at 3 stars, so yeah. I don't know. I suppose I could have given him his 5-star artifact. But it's MODOK, so we'll do that. Let her and Devil Dinosaur get out there and cut up. I still say to this day, she has some of the most beautifully well animated skills in the game. So yeah. So yeah. Let's do that. No, I got that reversed. I need to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead and do the rest of Alliance battle. We can go do some World Boss. Or zombies or whatever. Maybe jump into a little PvP. Acciones. Wow, that triggered the freaking prop. Yep, I screwed that up royally. Wow, that triggered that prop. That's actually cool that it did. I guess. Because it made the next one line up for me for the tier 3. All right. Okay. What you say there, bub? Hold up. Looking for advice for your next tier 4? Okay, I'll check you out. Okay, that's actually nice. $11.5, $11.6, almost 7. Maybe if I'd have hit my tier 4 striker. Could have squeezed out a little bit more. Let's see. Mystique, Storm, Doom, Agent Venom, or Gwenpool. That's an interesting lineup, bro. And you free to play too, ain't you, Bubba? Well, no, not if you're asking about Storm. Mystique is Crystal Wall. Doom is also Crystal Wall, so yeah. Agent Venom is paywall, so yeah. Let me take a look here. Not cards, not cards. Characters. So you already got a shitload of tier 4s out the way. So Gwenpool. Apocalypse was a mistake. Was a fanboy thing. Hey, look, it ain't a mistake if you cut for the character, bro. So you ain't gotta explain nothing to me. You know what I mean? Shit, I was thinking about pulling the trigger on him, Doom. Like, and you have such a surplus of tier 4s already. Like, you got tier 4 Human Torch. You know what I mean? Tier 4 Rogue, Deadpool, tier 4 Null, tier 4 Sentry, like, you know, tier 4 Silver Surfer. You're solid in a lot of respects when it comes down to your tier 4, so you have the flexibility to be able to pick and choose, you know, in some regards. So that's a good thing. You got your Warboss Legends teams covered. You got your PvP side covered, by and large. So, you know, having flexibility is good, bro. If you plan on picking up her seasonal, she might be meta for a while, or close to the top of it. Even if she's replaced in ABX quickly, she'll still be an option for you. So that is something to consider. That being said, Hela is still really strong at tier 4, but I'm not seeing a lot of PvP selection in there for you. Agent Venom, tier 4. So looks like you are. Do you have Venom tier 4? You do. So you're looking for Venom support. And then you got Venom lead covered. So that makes sense. So that's climbing for World Boss Legend. But only 2 of them characters share the same tagging also. In any one respect, because Null is a villain. Venom and Agent Venom are both hero. They're both combat. He's universal. They're both human. He's alien. So he's not going to be available for you in a lot of respects for them. And then Sleeper doesn't have a tier 4 yet. So, and then he's also alien. So he does share the combat tag. He does share, I think, the hero tag. So there is that. But Agent Venom makes a lot of sense. I think he has a combat lead too, so Venom can take advantage of that as well. Storm, she's probably gonna get something for X-Men 97. I don't want to say tier 4 Storm. She does have amazing support, and she does do good as a DPS. You do also have her artifact, which further increases her own elemental damage. So yeah, really wish they would add something like, you know, leave this and then add the elemental resist conversion thing, so she can take advantage both ways, because she does have a lot of elemental resist. So it'd be just something nice to see added to her kit, along with buffing her speed and survivability. There's no reason for her to be that fucking slow. If you don't want to put any sort of CTP on her, might I suggest rocking as something similar to this. but with lightning, preferably lightning damage, maybe guard break immunity lightning damage, because I have a CTP of judgment on her, of course. But if you don't want to rock with that, because that is in my experience, it's more rare for me. But something like this, guard break immunity lightning damage with the baby rage proc does wonders on her, bro. It'll function like a mini CTP of judgment in a sense. The proc's different because it's not elemental based, but you can buff her elemental damage with the cold damage, with the lightning damage. You see what I'm saying? She doesn't have fire damage in her kit, so the only thing she's gonna really take advantage of is the cold and the lightning in that regard, and that cold is only if you cast the second skill. So she'll probably need, does she need the guard break immunity? Let's see. I don't think she does. Yeah, because you can cancel out of the 3 immediately and jump right into the 5, and both of them are full iframes, and along with the 6 is also a full iframe. So yeah, you really don't even need to run the guard break immunity. You can just run her with double lightning damage if you want, or lightning damage cold damage if you want, to throw that second skill in there from time to time and take advantage of that. But it's really, well, I suppose it will ramp her damage to a regard, because you'll be taking advantage of 2 different damage pools. Still elemental damage, but 2 different types of elemental damage, if that makes sense. And then what all does she have on the 6? It's just lightning damage on the 6. So and you do already have her uniform that gives her the increase all elemental damage, and then the energy attack and chain hit. So she's also proc friendly, so maybe running it with a 200 damage proc with lightning damage is also, but the window is sort of tight for the proc friendliness, especially letting that tier 3 skill play out. It does take a little finesse, so I would recommend the baby rage proc in that case, and one that is triggered from crit rate, right? Not dodge, because she doesn't have a lot of dodge built into her kit natively, and it's really traditionally harder to ramp dodge, and that proc, it's not like a rage. The rage takes advantage of both sides. The rage takes advantage of the dodge and the crit rate. The baby rage is either or. It's going to be one of the two. It's going to be the dodge, or it's going to be the critical rate. In this case, it's crit rate. That's the one you want. In the case of, yeah, he has crit rate. Where is he? There he is. He has dodge. So max HP flame dodge. That's also a good one. You know, something like max HP, or like I said, the double lightning or the lightning cold would work really excellent on her. And with a lot of different elemental damage type characters. You know, for her or for Professor X, You could run mind damage, baby rage. In his case, I have recovery rate. Next best thing to HP. It's not as good as HP, but you know, so it's a lot of different ways to skin that cat, bro. Let's go back because I didn't mean to jump off of your account. Doom is good for PvE. I did some videos on him. Yeah, he is. He's pretty damn solid for PvE. He's very underrated, I think, in a lot of regard in that light. Now he can basically keep up with, or he's right there with Thanos in PvE. That's kind of where I'd put him. He's not at like mind-blowingly meta type, like he's not outperforming Ghost Rider per se, but he's not garbage. You know what I mean? I think he should be better for PvP. But I do think he is somewhat underrated. Like if you compare him with Silver Surfer, right? He's way better than Silver Surfer is in PvP or in PvE. Silver Surfer's better in PvP, right? I think Scarlet Witch is very overrated. I think a lot of what's taken into account with her is her ABX score and the days that she is available in ABX. I think much like, you know, the same can be said of Luna to a degree, right? But let's break this down. She's not as good in World Boss or GBR than a lot of other characters. But she qualifies for so many days of ABX and ABL, you really can't ignore that, right? She has no PvP value to speak of. So it's really just the ABX, ABL that she's banking on. The second that she gets replaced in that, nobody will be talking about Luna. She's not the best farmer for any game mode. I would say not even best in her class. That would be for speed female. That would be rogue. Now, you start niching it down to human, mutant, all of that stuff. Then, yeah, you know she could niche out something there. Who else did you have on your list, bro? I gotta go back. So Storm, we talked about. Mystique. Mystique is kind of interesting. She'd give you another support. She'd also give you some flexibility in ABX, ABL. Now, if you're talking about just from a fun perspective, I think the most fun character to use on this list would probably be Gwenpool. The skills are beautifully animated. You already have the uniform, so that's a plus. You already have the artifact with a rage on her, so that's also a plus. Let me see. and you don't have to worry about her getting a new uniform, losing any sort of value, anything like that for a while. You got a better artifact than you have on your Widow. Oh, you do have a judgment on your Storm, though. My bias is telling you Storm just because she's my favorite comic book character, period. You know, it's like her, Nightcrawler. Big X-Men fan, by the way. Yeah, there are a few more, like over in DC. That I cut for, but yeah. But let's see, Gwenpool, yeah, she'd be a fun use. I think you'd get a lot of mileage out of her. You know, the problem with Storm and Mystique is if they don't get nothing, yeah, they'll be solid DPS in their own right. But that ceiling is what it is. And then even if Storm does, like Mystique probably isn't gonna get nothing. Storm probably will. One, because I don't think Mystique really was around much in X-Men 97. So when season 2 drops, she's probably not going to be involved very much unless they're going back and forth between both the timelines plus the present day. So yeah, that's kind of the thing there. But that would be at the very least 2 female mutant supports, so that could help you in the future, depending on the taggings and stuff in World Boss and that sort of thing, World Boss Legend Plus. Let's see, you got Doom and Agent Venom, so we already talked about those two. Yeah. Oh, you just put that mighty judgment on her. I mean, that's banking a lot, bro. That's the thing. That's the other reason why I don't want to say yeah, but she was the one character in the show that had like a massive overhaul in terms of like a uniform change. You really can't say the same about Jean because it wasn't Jean, it was Madeline, right? So, plus we already have that look for her in game. So yeah. It looks like you got your PvP side pretty much covered with Madeline, and then tier 4 weapon Hex and tier 4 Cap. I think I saw with the zombie uniform, or if not, he's level 80. That wouldn't be a bad option either, because he could flex for you the way that he's built right now with that destruction for PvP and PvE with a zombie team. Or just with these two, I really wouldn't even throw another zombie in the mix. Even though Strange does have Reflect, he's really not tanky enough to do much. But those two coming in as a sacrifice play to burn people's artifacts and first lives and maybe get a sweep and take 2 with them. That's not a bad option for Otherworld Battle, especially when bans and shit come into play. You throw them out there with somebody like an Apocalypse built for PvP, because you do have his artifact that gives him the undead artifact. So yeah. So in all of these options, like everybody on this row get banned, or you know, these two guys are getting debuffed along with this guy. You have certain options like a Quicksilver with an Apocalypse, with a weapon hex, with a undead Captain America sort of situation. You don't have his artifact, so that's the other thing. But I think his artifact doesn't matter very much, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go check it out. Let's see. Yeah, superhero, supervillain damage. So it doesn't do very much. Yeah. My unbiased opinion would say Gwenpool or maybe Cap, who you didn't really have on the list. You really don't need Odin. My unbiased opinion, that would be those two, Cap and maybe Gwenpool. My biased opinion, you know, throwing the characters that I cut for in there, I would probably say Storm or maybe Doom, considering what your roster already looks like. You know what I mean? You got what 15, 21, 25 tier 4s. So I mean, you're pretty solid, bro. And you could throw a whole lot more in the mix. I wouldn't necessarily recommend Magic, even though you got the uniform and they fixed the bug in Otherworld Battle with her. But simply because the artifact, I don't think is a high enough star level. You need at least a 4-star artifact for that undead passive to be useful, and even higher with Franklin, because they cut the amount of time because it applies to all teammates. That's the other reason why I didn't recommend Invisible Woman, even though I don't think you have her. I don't see her. Maybe I passed her. You got CTP of Judgment on this guy? A mighty one at that? Yeah, I'd snatch that shit off and give him the, you know, that what I was telling you. And then you'll have a free judgment to throw on whoever. Yeah, you can throw that shit on Odin. Or Namor. And you got your weapon hex built for PvP. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. Would be Cap, Gwenpool, Doom, or Storm. Mystique, I'd be kind of. I mean, she will help your ABX scores, so don't get me wrong. And Angelo is absolutely correct when he says that Doom is a beast in PvE content. Doesn't perform as well in PvP, but I think he's close to where Thanos is, personally. It's just Thanos has a little more flexibility with his PvP based uniform, right? But then you also got to think that's an extra crystal investment for a 2,500 crystal uniform, and then that's not discounted, by the way, for the seasonal, along with another uniform that's 1,750 when discounted. So yeah, like spending that much fucking crystals, this shit better fucking perform. What do you mean it's not performing? Okay, so let's take a look at the ban list. Okay. So the list is sort of ridiculous. So we're gonna have to get in here and figure this out a little bit. I don't know, maybe Hulk. I think I did throw Spidey part of that shit. Yep, he absolutely is. Let's throw magic out there, and we'll see what we can get. And then if the whole Ancient One thing isn't working, we'll mix it up and see how we do. I'll be right back in just a second. Okay, we back. Sorry about that. Had to go refresh the cup of the Cafe Olay, baby. Did on the X-Men, bro. I got my dork closet full of X-Men comics and old image Team 7 such and such. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm more of a fan of like the animated medium myself, so X-Men the animated series, Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, of course, was staples, of course, coming up as a youngster, and then you know, getting the whole Justice League joint. Shit, even before that, fucking the old school X-Men that ran for one season prior to the X-Men. That shit, X-Men Evolution was okay. It took it a while to grow on me, honestly. Kind of the same with Wolverine and the X-Men as well. Anything game related that featured X-Men, so X-Men Next Dimensions, the games part 1 and 2, the old school Sega Genesis X-Men game, of course all the Marvel vs. Capcoms. Or at least most of them. The only one I don't think I ever owned was Infinity. And of that series, I never was able to get my hands on X-Men Children of the Atom. That game is extremely difficult to find. And even if you can find it, the last I checked, it was still like $40 used. So yeah. Might be much cheaper than that now if you can find it in good condition. Most people would probably just say, oh, get an emulator, but those emulators can be hit and miss, bro. The programming on them may not be quite right sometimes. Like, it's so much, bro. And then sometimes they get it spot on. Like, I've seen fucked up Miss Pac-Man emulators where they can't get that shit right. They don't realize that the ghosts have a specific pattern. Yeah, X-Men Legends, yeah, definitely. That was my shit. That was them joints with Nightcrawler on there. So all of them, and I cut my teeth on fighting games in general. So anything like that, like a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat to an extent, right? Like the first couple, the first 3 or 4. After that, it was like, all right, y'all doing too much. Fucking what is it? Not saying that those games aren't good, and if you cut for them, you know, but for me, it was like, okay, I got enough of Mortal Kombat. What else? The Tekken franchise, of course, I cut my teeth there. Soul Calibur up to a certain point, but I still got on like recently and was cutting up on it's one of them that's downloadable or streamable from the PlayStation Plus store. If you got the PlayStation Plus or Advanced or whatever, the one that you the most expensive joint. They got a Soul Calibur joint in there. It may be on the mid one too. But yeah. But not playing in years, I jumped on there and, you know, chalked out a pretty good win streak. It was like 23-1 or 2, some shit like that. Bloody Roar, that was another one that I was real nasty at. I think that was PlayStation 1 or 2. So yeah, I can definitely bring y'all some going through the story mode type shit at least, because it's not an online game. But those are the sorts of games that I put them down, I pick them back up, and it's like immediate on that ass. Those adventure games that follow that same suit, like the Spider-Man franchise with that amazing combat system. Same thing with the Batman franchise with that hellified counter system. Oh man, the Arkham series jumped on there recently and okay, got my ass whooped a little bit and crunk it down and got my feet back wet and got right and see, I'm gonna go through this and then I'm gonna crank it back up on hard and I'm gonna go through that after I unlock everything, because I haven't unlocked everything again yet. So, you know, that was my downfall. But maybe I'll bring y'all some of that footage. Definitely, if I can get my hands on an Elgato in a quick, short amount of time, I'll definitely bring y'all that. So y'all can see your boy really lives in that combat zone, in that that oh man. Y'all gonna be in for a treat, because the hand-to-hand is nasty. Oh man, I had this thing about having one hit point left and not dying. Oh, that sort of shit. Get your ass whooped all the way down to one hit point, and all of a sudden the defense becomes superb. How does that work? And when I'm in that zone, I don't, like, it's wild, bro. Like, I be amazing myself, but I be trying not to be amazed so I'm not out of that zone. If that makes sense. And with today's technology, it's way easier to play that shit back. Back in the day, I used to have to hook up the whatever game system to a VCR and record it that way. Of course, I have no idea where those tapes are now. And I should have done it with more games than that, but I was young and stupid. I didn't understand that technology would advance to the point where I'd be able to share that on a large scale. So now I got to go back and reproduce that footage. And I don't have the same, like, I got nerve damage in my hands and shit now, so the combos ain't gonna be the same, but the savvy is still there and the technique is still understood. So you're gonna see some shit. And if I can get my damn hands to act right, oh, we really got problems. Just not as quick as I used to be. So the combat skills on certain fighting games have diminished, but on the adventure side, like that Batman Arkham shit, oh, I can still get down in there. Justice League PS2 game. You're talking about, oh shit. Let me go look this shit up. Justice League Heroes. I don't think I ever played it. Damn, and that shit is still like $50. $32 on eBay. Mm-hmm. These motherfuckers are crazy. Sega Saturn, X-Men Children of the Atom, $45. Jesus. So yeah, a bunch of them games that's like out of print. And it's like the old had you known. You would have kept all that shit. But like I said, young, stupid, some shit actually was stolen. Wasn't in the best neighborhood as a kid, so got robbed a couple of times actually. So that's where some of that shit went. And if there are any questions, the answer to both are yes and yes. We'll just leave it at that. So let's see, we getting our ass whooped now. That's because we are not taking advantage of the fact that the debuff is not applying to any of my characters yet. So let's throw in all of the banned characters. hell is Wasp? Oh, there she is. And one more. Spidey, maybe? All right. Yeah, I suppose I could have threw Deadpool out there. But if they're not running debuff removal and Spidey gets the webbing off, it can actually help the entire team. He actually stayed alive for a while there. So yeah. Easy pickings. And we had dropped all the way down to fucking gold. Let's pick this shit back up. Now that we on an even playing field. There. Another victory. See how we do with Deadpool. Where the hell is Deadpool? There he is. I see Pride of the X-Men got me hooked when I was a lad. No doubt, bro. Like, people tend to forget all of that. Like, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That shit was fucking dope, bro. It's a lot of them in there where they really brought their fucking hard hat. Even on the DC side, that Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, That's still a good watch to this day. The whole Project Cadmus storyline and Amanda Waller and Lex and Brainiac and fucking Darkseid and all of that shit, man. Say, General Eiling, like they had a whole lineup that was a problem. Yeah, Quiet as Kept. Young Justice, the first couple of seasons of that anyway, went hard. And it's Outlanders or whatever that other shit that they brought back. That ain't no Young Justice. But that original shit, yeah, it was alright. Before it got unified, it was pretty decent. Another victory. I will damn sure take it. Okay, it's a little different. Black Swan and Ghost Rider with Jean. So no Wolverine, no Deadpool. It should be pretty easy. Ghost Rider slap the shit out of somebody. But I think the debuff removal is actually helping or hurting him, not having it. But we'll see. We're down to 1-on-1. And I don't think I've killed the Sentry yet. So, oh, I did. Okay, so cool. Sentry didn't have the extra man. Okay, got a bunch of tier 3s and one tier 4 Sentry. With a bunch of level 80s. So let's rock and roll this. Okay, he doesn't have the debuff removal. We're up 4-3. And his null has to deal with Sentry and okay. Okay, but we got him though. The extra man wins again. Okay, we pushing back into we don't want to refill nothing. Okay, this is interesting. We got Thanos, tier 4. We got heavy hitters all over the place. Silver Surfer, Sentry, Null, and Wolverine, tier 4. So we may actually come out with an L on this one. The only difference is, can I do something with the debuff removal? Okay, Wasp is actually holding up a little bit. She bought a little bit of time, so that's actually dope. Deadpool held it down as much as he could. It's 3-2, 3-3. It's got a slight advantage. Oh, we took the advantage. We took the advantage in the end. Oh, we didn't take the advantage. We got clapped. Okay, it's hard to tell. Thought we actually got that. Hey. correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I thought all his characters got wiped there. Okay, we're down 1-0. We triggered Noel's artifact, but so did Wolverine, and Deadpool and Wolverine also got wiped. Sentry is on his second man. Noel's artifact got triggered and we lost. Okay. So maybe the webbing is the here, my guy doesn't need to pop out in the middle either. I think coming out last, popping out in the middle may not be so bad. Actually, you know what? No. Throw her ass in the middle. She's gonna get clapped anyway. Everybody else can play the outskirts and not have to worry about it. And that lets Spidey come in at the angle. Handle up. Is he gonna get a heel off? No. Okay. Looks like Spidey isn't gonna be enough this time. Oh, but it is. I don't understand it, but Sentry pulls it off. So we are back in the annals of victory. Maybe. Ooh, this is interesting. So you're rocking Madeline Pryor and Invisible Woman, but without Franklin or his artifact. It's not gonna be very much, plus she's not tier 4. So and then even in that case, throwing Thing on the team would be more useful because of the buffs that he can add to her. But that's kind of throwing all your eggs in one basket. And she need to be tier 4. Which means the other two characters would have to be buying her time, and then Thing would be buffing her alone. So is it worth it? Maybe just go with a different buff. In that case, Wasp would kind of be irrelevant. So maybe Hela. I don't know. Are we gonna pull this off? Yes, we are. All right. Okay, we got us a level 80 Doom, Sentry, a Null, tier 4, a Jean, tier 4, and a Silver Surfer, level 74. This should be easy pickings, but Null and Sentry, tier 4, along with a Doom 80. Not really sure. We were able to pull it off, but barely. Just barely. Like I said, that Sentry tier 4 with Null tier 4. Like his Surfer 74, but so is my Null, right? I could throw my Surfer in the mix. That's another option, actually, that I wasn't even thinking about, that would probably drastically increase my win rate over at least having Spidey in there. So let's try that team. Actually, I don't know why I didn't think about it earlier. We could probably push him further back, but Null is so dang strong. Oh, we're able to get his Null, and oh, we're able to get his easy one, his hard ones out the way first. That may prove to be an advantage, actually. Yep. Yep, he ran through a couple of characters, then ran into a wall when he hit Surfer with a bunch of Reflect. And then Sentry and Null were able to hold it down for the rest with the Mighty Conquest on both. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a battle. And I'm not sure if we're going to come out on top, folks. No. No, it was close. Actually, no, I think I still had to trigger Null's artifact, so it wasn't so close. Or his undead passive. Okay, Surfer holding it down, baby. That brilliant authority. That brilliant authority just holding it all the way down. Goodness, can I put a better battlefield buff on this guy? Ignore damage received with the authority. Oh yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, that kicking in with the brilliant authority, bro, pretty much makes him invincible for an amount of time, so. Uh-oh, he's able to get back out there with the rest of the hosses. He gets wiped. Null gets triggered. So he decides to murk everything. All right, I can go for that. Let's see here. Is it enough to... take it to the next level, baby. Okay. Got a few more fight. Ooh, we are getting it in, ain't we? Yes, sir. That's already a wrap. What you talking about? Sit down. Sir, what are you doing?
And he did turkey burgers. This Thanksgiving?
What are you doing? No. Trying to get my goal, baby. Gooba, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Let's see. You don't have a good MFF account? Man, you tripping, Angelo. Your MFF account better than mine. That's Square Biz. You might have a few more characters than me to unlock, but as far as your cards and all of that, once you unlock them, you know what I mean? Sky's the limit depending on what their uniform is and what kind of CTPs and or decent obelisks you can throw on them. And with that $10 unequip, whenever I'm not saying use it all the time, but you know, whenever you can, if you need to move some stuff around, it's way better to use that than it is to, you know, waste the crystals trying to do it one by one and waiting for a crystal discount and all of that stuff. But I understand about the whole currency conversion shit too, you know what I mean? So it may not be as advantageous for some players to do that. I'm just trying to get to the next league, baby. Because we are so close, and then I'll be all right. Because when I get up in the league where the debuffs kick in, that's when I can switch teams. Oh, we actually pulled that one off. I think we got about 3 or 4 more fights to go. The reason why I'm not doing auto is because I don't want to. It look like we're gonna take a L here. I don't want to take a bunch of L's and then wind up right back where I started. Oh shit, boy, Sentry almost hit him with the comeback. Like if this dude heals up, you got a problem. Cause that's just Gene left. Okay, we should get the dub here. Don't look like the debuffs are kicking in for me yet. Yeah, should be a Merc Fest here. could be a problem. Not sure. Ooh. They did not have to do Wasp like that. Like, nah, you ain't getting that shield up. You ain't buying no time. You ain't finna do none of that. Hold this hot ass L. Wow, we are getting handled, but oh, is the comeback imminent? Is the comeback imminent? That boy came back like Sokka's boomerang up in this Joker.
Yeah!
Yep, got say they didn't have to do Wasp like that, man. She got the bubble up and she got she got slid in between the second and the third rope out of the bubble. Wow. It's like, nope. And did we get the dub? Looks like we did. Yep, you will be promoted soon. That is what I like to see in Platinum. So looks like we're gonna go to Vibranium. Oh, she actually got off. She's like, I'm tired of getting slid like that. Let me get off first. Trigger artifact, something. Maybe some kind of annoyance. And okay, I was gonna say, if we take the L after Wasp did all of that, I'm done. All right, looks like we got promoted. So debuffs are in. So yeah. Let's see here. No 1, no 6, so no tier 3. So let's see, folks that get their damage without the tier 3. Both of them always got action, if that's the case. We only got one elemental. Well, let's do this. We'll be judicious about it. Throw my guy Coulson. And throw Agent Venom in the mix. Actually, we really don't need Storm because she's only providing the elemental damage. They can't take advantage of all the White Fox buffs, I don't think. So, yeah, he's got the Weapon Master. So, we'll do Coulson, Dazzler, and Where the hell are you? Agent Venom. Everybody got their own support. Plus Coulson support doubling for both. I think that should be plenty. Only thing that's missing really is a CTP liberation. Okay. Click right above the challenge button. What you talking about? You will know let's see, you will know, you will now click where I told you, and it gives you all the relevant supports you need to have. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. That support checkbox. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. But you're absolutely right, Grimy. Welcome to the channel, bro. Yeah, I forgot all about that filter shit. Let's see if I can push a little higher. Because I know as long as they both have access to the 3 and the 4, then Venom and Rogue are pretty fucking solid for all of this. Gets a little sketchy when you start trying to combine teams and they need certain shit. Likewise, I could have thrown Gambit in the mix. As well, but I don't think the team up abilities apply. Could have thrown Storm in the mix, but she's more of a single target damage dealer, and not having access to her 6 skill, she doesn't get damage accumulation. Jean is also viable here, but Judgment's gonna typically do better than the Rage, I think, on this stage. Thor would do good here, even without having the tier 3, because he gets access to most of all his damage and a lot 5 AoE. Wow, it doesn't tell you the time after you finish. That's kind of wild. Let's push up to 22. We're gonna push as high as we can here till we start losing, and then we'll crank it back down. This might be a pretty solid week for me. Now, if Dazzler ever gets a uniform and a support, support. If she ever gets a uniform and possibly a tier 4, but she doesn't necessarily need it, only for things that are like tier 4 exclusive content. But basically, the uniform passive and the artifact would be the focus. She could basically turn into the white fox for mutants. With the damage to boss types, if they give her anything along the lines of damage to supervillains or chain hit or anything like that, where she can apply it to all allies, or any sort of ramp and elemental damage for all allies. Of course, that'll be more niche, depending on the mutant DPS. All of them don't have elemental damage. Let's keep it pushing. Can we get past Michael Jordan? We shall see. We shall see. See, down to 55 seconds and still no boss. Ooh, we're in the 40s. It's a problem. Okay, there we go, 43 seconds left. There's gonna be enough time. Rogue's trying to get up there. They have to help him out a little bit. Okay. Got it with 20 seconds left. With help. Let's go ahead and give a little more. Okay. Actually got past it. New record. Now, this is the real deal. Can we get past Kobe? Or did we get past Kobe when we skipped level 8? Yeah. They canceled the 4 into the 3 instead of the 3 into the 4. That's ridiculous. Okay, we're down to 55 seconds. So last time he popped out at 43. Okay, 42. So one more second. And we finished with 22 seconds. So at that rate, if it's a second per level, we should have enough DPS to go to 30. Okay, there's one. Of course, that was with help. So with no help, okay, 15 seconds. But at that rate, even still, I may have enough to push to 30. Which would be nice, actually. New record again. We'll try 25. And if we're able to get 25, we'll skip to 30 and see what happens. And we'll start running them down in reverse order. Because, you know, that 5th level may be the difference. Okay, under a minute 20. Last time boss popped out at 42. So this one may be 41. So if you minus 5 seconds from 41, you should come up with 36. So that's what we'll be looking for in the next level. It's for the boss to pop out around 36 seconds. And then finish with about 9 seconds left. Okay, 42 again. 42, 41-ish. Okay, that's a problem, not popping the 3rd skill. Did pop the 6, but not having that 3rd pop is really hindering her. Okay, 14, 13. Oof. Oof. I don't know. That was with about 12 seconds left. So maybe gonna be finishing with about 5 seconds left. It's gonna really be pushing it. Let's go ahead and push it to 30 and see what happens. So what did we say? Around 36 seconds is when we should see the boss. Let's see, only thing ever got past Kobe. Oh wait, I'm a Celtics fan. Hey, back in the gap, I used to be a Knicks fan, so now it's just more so I like players, not really teams so much. My brother was a Bulls fan, so got a lot of Jordan shit. Okay, so still 42 seconds. Okay, so that's interesting. We may actually have the DPS to pull this off, and if that's the case, that's going to be absolutely dope. But it is slow moving because she's not prioritizing the third skill. Cutting it close, 10 seconds, quarter of the damage to go. I may have to actually give her some help in order for her to pull it off. 2, 1, not quite enough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give him some help and then I can do it. I'm actually gonna have to give help and then I can do it. But that's dope though. So let's get this done. We'll give the help early. And really it's just pushing the 3, making sure the tier 4 stays up. But she wasn't prioritizing the third skill at all. Okay, maybe a little more than that. Okay, 42 seconds is when the boss pops out, so really it doesn't matter. Yeah, boss pops out at 42. So it's really just about chewing through that damage. So it really didn't matter that I gave that help early on. The help needs to happen now. Oh wow, game crashed. Are you serious, bro? They don't want me to have it. They don't want me to have it. But we have been going for 3 hours now. So we're gonna get this level 30 run in and probably call it. But So close. So we'll let it run auto and then we'll help with the 3 and the 5 and all of that, because it's time based when the boss drops. It's not, you know, the boss is going to drop at 42 seconds regardless, and then you have that amount of time in order to be able to kill the boss. It's not do a certain amount of DPS to make the boss drop faster, although killing the mobs will help your overall score. So dispatching the mobs faster is advantageous to that, but it's not going to affect when the boss comes out. And you still have to kill the boss to beat the stage. So, I mean, pretty solid game design. I like it. I'll be glad when they implement multiplayer. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. Are you still going to have access to your full team? Is it going to be split between the two of you? You get a DPS, they get a DPS, maybe add, you know, 2 supports for you, 2 supports for them, for a total of 6 characters. That wouldn't be that different than what we have now. However, what they could do is, let me give this help. Oh, they're actually doing the 3rd skill. Yeah. So 8 seconds. 8 seconds would help. I would definitely take it. New record, survival success. First time clear, actually. For level 30. So that's actually dope. Okay. Can we get a one shot? No luck whatsoever. Yeah, a little something, a little something. Been nice if I'd have got at least one of the 29s to 30. That would have been actually fucking dope. Okay. Let's do that. Goodness. I'm sorry, I just, the 100% method is where it's at for me. CCF? Yeah, you can definitely add that. Might as well get it out of the way. There we go. Level 80, no. Goodness gracious. Hey. So, I guess we can ride out to some timeline then. Since everybody is at least level 80 now, that's definitely going to help him out in timeline. So we're going to let this rock out. Y'all like, comment, share, sub, all of that jazz. It's been a pleasure hanging out with y'all once again. We'll try to get some more content out to you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace. I'm sorry, my G's. I must come back and say that last fight was absolute fucking garbage. How in the hell did he win that fight with regular CTPs of regen versus two mighty conquests, bro? Come on now. Stop the cap. And a CTP of rage versus a brilliant authority. All right. I might need to investigate that one. Just saying. Anyway, peace.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong.